3. If you have chosen the investment plan route and do not work a regular job. Now, this is somebody who has the money. I don't need to be making money while I'm doing it. I just want to spend money and get a return on my investment and get as much as possible. What can I do? I'm going to tell you a little story. Now, I've told this story before. You may have heard this story in some of my other videos, but I love telling this story because there is a guy who built a humongous business in my little town where I lived in upstate New York, very rural town. And he used open listings to do it. He was well known in the town as a local retailer. He owned a retail store and everybody knew him because they would go into a store and buy stuff. But he wasn't known as the real estate broker or anything. Nobody really knew him as a real estate broker. He had his license for a while, but he really didn't do anything with it. He's just part-time. Then he decided, I'm going to sell my store and I'm going to get into real estate. But he had money because he sold his store. So he had money to make investments. And he really understood that if he made the right investment, he would make a ton in real estate. So here's how he did it. First thing he did was he created a logo. He made his own brokerage. And because he had already had a license for a few years, even though he didn't use it, he had a broker's license. He created his own logo. He created his own company, and he bought a bunch of signs. He went to a sign place and he bought like probably 100 signs. He knew a lot of people because he was a retailer in the town. So he would go to people who had vacant land, who they might want to sell, or people who might be doing subdivisions, anybody who wanted to sell their house but didn't want to sell their house. There's a lot of people who want to sell their house but don't want to sell their house. The for sale by owners, the make me move people. There's a lot of those people. You can find them on Zillow, the make me move people. And you can say to them, listen, I know maybe you're not ready to do an exclusive right to sell agreement, but what if we did an open? Let me put my sign on your lawn. I'll bring you the highest deal. You don't have to pay me unless I sell it, but if I do sell it, you'll pay me. And there's no commitment. So he started doing that. And within like a week or two, I'm driving around town and I'm like, oh my God, I saw him last week. He just told me he was going to do this. Now this week, there's signs everywhere. His new business, how could he have possibly gotten this many listings that fast? Well, that didn't happen. He got them all as open listings and he put his sign all around town. And the next thing you know, there's a big billboard as you're driving out of town with his name on it. And then I got the thing in the mail, the penny saver thing in the mail that comes. There's whole page ads in there with his logo on it. And after like 3 months of this, I'm like, wow, he's probably the biggest listing agent in town. Within 1 year, he was the biggest listing and selling agent in that town. He took that maybe $20,000 high side investment and turned it into hundreds of thousands of dollars because he was willing to invest that money. So you invest it in a website where you generate leads, you invest it in signs, you invest it in open listing advertisements, which you can do through MyState MLS. And there's a video on that. We'll put up in the comments, we'll put below some of these videos that you can watch that I'm referring to. And you can do all of these things to really jumpstart your business. So 2 routes, you either have to work and you're going to get leads while you work, or you're going to be willing to invest money, just spend money on Facebook ads and social media ads and websites and billboards and signs. And you will become a big listing agent because it's all perception. People have to see your face. And if they see your face in their area, they'll think you're the go-to person. And you do that, right? Drive around now. Who's the go-to person? You all know it. You all drive around and go, oh my God, that person has all the listings. Their face is everywhere. Their name is on every sign. Be like them. How do you be like them? Put your name and face on every sign and go around and ask people if you can put your sign on their lawn to sell their house because they're a make me move person or they're a for sale by owner person, or actually try to get the listing. Most brokers will tell you when you first get out of school and you're ready to start this job and people don't know what to do and they go on the Facebook groups and the mastermind groups and they say, well, how do I get started? Everyone, your sphere of influence, door knock, your sphere of influence, door knock, door knock, door knock. Call. Who are you calling? Who is your sphere of influence? Who are you door knocking on without getting arrested? All of those things don't really help you, you know, but they can help you if you understand what you can do with those things and how powerful they can be. So definitely watch our open listings video to find out a really easy way to get open listings. I'll tell you right now, it's to go to new construction communities and ask them if you can list their open listings and their open rentals. That's what they do in New York City. It works really well. Most of the people who just get out of school in New York City are told, just be a rental agent. No, I don't want to be a rental agent. I don't want to sell a multi-million-dollar townhouse. You will, but be a rental agent first. Why? Because how do you think you get the leads? You get rentals, you list the rentals, you have a way to advertise, that gets you leads. Those leads, people who rent eventually buy, people who need to rent might have a house to sell. So they tell you to get started that way. It's a great way to get started. And we've done other videos on that, and we're going to put up links for those as well for you. Step 3, if you need to work while you're starting your business, we told you to choose a vertical position that helps you make the contacts and learn and get you leads and makes connections. So we already showed you that and all those things that you can do. Now, these positions, they're going to afford you some room to learn about real estate and earn while you're starting your career as an agent. So that's what you're going to want to do with them.